Hello everyone, and welcome to another offshoot of reading fan fiction that is Harry Potter related. This one was actually sent to me by someone here on YouTube because they happened to mention it in their video. And when I went looking for in the comments, I couldn't find it. So I asked, and then they sent it over to me. And I'm like, I'm so excited. And this is specifically for the month of December, for Christmas. The name of this is The Great Wizarding Christmas Bake Off by Early Blooming Parentheses. If you're like me, I am a huge fan of the British baking show, the Great British Bake Off, or, I think as we have it here in the West, the Great British Baking Show. Huge fan of that franchise. So, yeah, I think without further ado, let's just get right into it. A summary. 4 contestants returning from previous seasons: Sirius Black, Remus, Harry, and oh yes, Sybil Trelawney. 2 bad joke-filled hosts, Fleur and Tonks. 2 oddly matched judges, Minerva McGonagall and Horace Slughorn. 3 baking challenges: 3 glowing fruitcake runes, 2 not-so-secretly smitten contestants, 2 small explosions, 1 first kiss, 1 unexpectedly sentimental judge, and plenty of holiday cheer. Oh, and 1 Christmas bake-off champion. Notes for this: there will be 3 chapters, 1 for each challenge. All are written, so no worries about not knowing who wins. Chapter 2 and the technical will be posted tomorrow, and Chapter 3, the showstopper, will be posted the day after tomorrow, on Christmas. Those were the notes. Chapter 1. The Signature. A cloudy day on a beautiful estate, sweeping long fir trees strung with fairy lights, a big red brick Queen Anne house in the background. Zoom in on Fleur, who is wearing a lovely silver dress, and Tonks, who has metamorphosed to look exactly like Fleur. Welcome to the great... I'm supposed to say that. I thought I was. See, it says Fleur right here. Wait, am I not Fleur? I look like Fleur? Oh well, that's a bit embarrassing. Just give me 1 second. Tonks transforms slowly, hair turning from silvery white to grey, face growing wrinkled. She looks exactly like Minerva, except in a silver dress. I hate to tell you this, but... Oh dear, must have had too much eggnog last night. Tonks transforms again, this time into herself, heart-shaped face, short and spiky green and red hair. I think I'm pulling off this dress though, yeah? Cut to inside the tent. Bright red refrigerators and mixing bowls, cooking tables strung with garland, and charmed snow falling from the ceiling. Christmas in the Wizarding World, and the 4 of our favorite bakers are returning to the tent for a holiday bake-off. First up, fresh from our latest season, one of our youngest ever contestants and last year's semi-finalist, Harry. Harry walks in. He's wearing a hand-knitted jumper with an H on the front and dark jeans. He smiles cheerfully as he takes his place at the table. Back from a couple of seasons ago, and best known for his exquisite breads and spot-on flavors. Remus, who is wearing a dark red sweater with a reindeer pattern, is shown pouring liquid into a cup, biting his lip as he squints at the measurement. And a friend of Remus from the same season, quarterfinalist Sirius Black, whose luminous ladyfingers and color-changing custard wowed the judges, but who crashed and burned, quite literally, when his frangipane fireworks exploded all over and nearly set the tent on fire. Sirius, who is wearing a black leather jacket and a Santa hat, gives Remus a cheeky wink hello and tosses a wooden spoon into the air, barely catching it. And finally, one of the show's most memorable contestants, whose bakes were almost as wild as her hair, Sybil. Sybil is shown staring puzzled at something in the oven. She is wearing a tremendously sparkling gold robe, and her mass of curly hair is barely held in check by a gold scarf whose fringes trail down her shoulder. Cut to a shot of Harry outside speaking to the camera. "I'm chuffed to be back, yeah? Really excited. It's Christmas, and I'm honored to share the tent with such amazing bakers. I really admire both. I mean, all three of them." Cut to shots of Remus outside speaking to the camera. "Christmas always makes me think of baking, the spices, and the smells, and the kitchen warm and cozy. So, I'm so pleased to be here, and to meet some of the others, and to say hello to old friends." His face grows slightly red. Cut to the tent. The four bakers are arranged behind their counters. Tonks, Fleur, Minerva, and Horace walk in and line up at the front of the room. Minerva wears a tartan jacket and skirt, red wire-rimmed glasses, and a sprig of holly in her tight bun. Horace wears a red and green plaid bow tie and a cheerful cream sweater. "Welcome, bakers, and Joyeux Noël, or as we say up north, past the biddling fruitcake already. Today, the four of you will compete for the coveted title of Christmas Bake-Off Champion. There will be plenty of Christmas flavors and Christmas cheer. And if Horace has anything to say about it, plenty of Christmas brandy. For your signature challenge today, Minerva and Horace would like you to make a fruitcake. But it's not just any fruitcake. Yours should be moist, flavorful, and contain multiple kinds of fruit. And it should not be usable as a doorstop, unlike my great Aunt Tilly's. You have 2 hours. On your mark, get set, bake!" Cut to Minerva and Horace in a cozy room by the fire. A fruitcake glistens on the table. "So, Horace, why did you choose a fruitcake for today's challenge?"
"Traditional. A fruitcake, you know, is simply the most traditional Christmas bake, and it can be just dreadful. You know, I was once given a fruitcake that was the same texture as an old car tire, made by my friend Brywin Evans, you know, the masozoologist. Yes, dreadful. So what should our bakers do to avoid replicating the notorious fruitcakes of yesteryear?" "Well, the fruit must be well distributed, and they need to be careful not to overwork the dough, or it'll be too dense."
"We certainly wouldn't want anything in the tent to be too dense." She looked at him out of the corner of her eye. Cut to the tent. The 4 bakers are getting out their ingredients. Close on Sirius, who was already covered in flour.
"Hate fruitcake. Absolutely hate it. Never had a good fruitcake in my life."
"Bet Remus over here likes it though, eh?"
"What?"
He looks up, startled from his recipe, and he smiles, raising his eyebrow. "It's not bad. If you bake it well, that is." "Well then, that's told you." Sirius pretends to look offended. Remus goes pink again. Cut to Harry, who is explaining his bake to Minerva, Horace, and Fleur. "So, I'd actually never made a fruitcake till this week. I decided to mix things up a bit, you know. I wanted it to be modern, so my fruitcake is spiced chocolate with candied ginger, cherries, and red chilies." "Chilies? Actual pieces of them?"
"Yes."
I'll cut to Sybil, She's waving her wand about a bubbling saucepan in which bright purple liquid is simmering.
Fruitcake, quite a mystical substance, actually. Some believe you can read one's fortune in the pattern of the jellied fruits, quite like tea leaves.
She pours a liberal stream of brown liquid into the saucepan, which turns muddy and thick.
So I'll be making a fortune-telling cake with black currants and cherries and icing runes on top.
She drops a single cherry into the saucepan. There is a loud splash, and the cherry dissolves. Cut to Sirius.
My fruitcake is more of a twist on a classic. Ah, it's good to have you back. I'm making a savory fruitcake. Good heavens, always so bold. It'll be turmeric flavored, so nice bright yellow. And I have currants, raisins, and sultanas. And it's inspired by the golden snitch, so it'll be round, with wings made of parsnips I'm carving.
You've set yourself quite a lot to do, young man.
Wouldn't be a black signature if I didn't, would it?
Minerva and Horace leave. Tonks leans in. Wasn't Remus famous? Phoenix loaf from Bread Week, turmeric flavored?
Well, you know what they say about imagination.
Cut to Remus. I've gone a bit traditional with this one, actually. I'm using dried fruit rather than jellied, though. I think it gives them a better texture. And I've got a particular spice blend I like. Gives the cake a bit of a kick. Makes it a bit less sickly.
Off screen, there's a loud bang. Remus, startled, turns to look. Cut to Sybil. Just the black currant exploding. Never mind.
Shots of Harry slicing chilies, Remus carefully measuring cloves, Sybil popping her cake in the oven, and Sirius sculpting a parsnip.
Bakers, 10 minutes left.
Oh, really? Oh, man, I hope this isn't underbaked. I just need to pipe the icing. Sirius wrapping a plaster around his finger.
Don't think I'll get any blood in the bake. But it's extra iron, isn't it?
Because your time is up. Sirius lets his knife clatter on the countertop, and then he collapses dramatically on the floor. The camera catches Remus looking over at him, half amused and half exasperated. Harry is looking nervous, but pleased. Sybil's fruitcake is topped with several ominously glowing runes. Sirius, will you bring your fruitcake to the judges? Sirius carries his golden snitch-shaped cake to Minerva and Horace. It's bright yellow and leaning slightly to one side.
I think you know what I'm going to say, Sirius. It's got style, but you need to see if it has any substance, standard Sirius. I think it's quite nice indeed. Worthy my friend Gwenog Jones, captain of the Holyhead Harpies. Let's taste it, shall we?
They each take a bite. A pause.
You know, that isn't bad.
Always the tone of surprise.
The turmeric's working, I think, surprisingly well. There's a bit too much fruit, though. Yes, and you can see it's sunk a little to the bottom, here and there. Thank you, Sirius.
Thank you.
Harry, would you bring yours up, please?
Harry's cake is dark brown, decadent, iced with white cross-hatching and studded with cherries.
It looks a treat. We'll see what she thinks about the chilies, eh, lad?
They take a bite. Harry watches nervously.
Wow! Packs a punch!
You know, that works. Harry breaks into a broad grin.
It does, really. I thought the bits of chili would be too much, but you've chopped them so small, and they go so well with the spiced chocolate. Your flavors are excellent. Well done.
Remus? Remus carries his cake to the judges. It's an understated, rather unassuming cake, but the royal icing is beautifully piped.
Simple.
but elegant. They take a bite.
Yes, this is what a solid fruitcake tastes like.
It is good, Remus.
Bit dull, but very well baked.
I'd better work on the style portion of things, as usual. Perhaps we should make you and Sirius a team? Then you would have style and substance. She smiles at him blithely. Remus, for the third time, blushes. And Sybil, would you bring up your, very intriguing fruitcake? Sybil carries her cake to the judges. It is bright purple. The icing runes are glowing.
Good heavens, it's blinding.
Let's see. Those are runes for good fortune, clarity, and sheep?
Good health.
I'm fairly certain.
Ah, well, let's taste.
They cut gingerly into the cake, which is purple all the way through, and take a bite.
Mmm.
A pause.
Well, I'm definitely getting black currant.
The camera cuts to Harry outside. I think that went well, yeah. The camera cuts to Sybil outside.
It was most certainly the rune for good health. To think that I would mistake such a thing. Truly, I have studied runes for years and...
End of challenge 1. Well, that was fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this little mini excursion on this Christmas season. As always, if you are enjoying this kind of content, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also, I do have means for you to support me monetarily if that is something that you are all interested in. I have a Patreon that starts at a $1 tier, but if no one is interested in that, I also have a Ko-fi, which is linked in my About section. And so no one forgets, I am also doing a special for this month of December, the 12 days of Christmas. From December 25th through January 5th, I will be releasing on my Patreon at the $2 tier my own personal Harry Potter fan fictions that I wrote with my best friend when we were in high school together. So yeah, those will be sitting at the $2 mark through that time. For those of you that are interested, you can subscribe to my Patreon for that time to get those stories. Please be warned though, they are spicy content. So if you're not a fan of sexual things, maybe sit that one out. But if the rest of you are interested, those will be up on my Patreon through the times mentioned before. And yeah, I would appreciate so much if you guys would check that out. Anyway, again, thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Good night.